He knew about her affair before I did. I could feel the blood draining from my face as I read the text, my thumb hovering over the phone screen like I wasn't quite sure if I was reading it correctly. I reread the message again, willing it to change for some reason, but it stayed the same. The words hit me like a slap in the face. I know what you're going through. He's been seeing someone else. I'm sorry to break it to you like this, but I thought you should know. You deserve to know. My breath caught in my throat, and for a moment, everything went silent. The room around me seemed to close in. I could barely focus on the screen as I fought to control the storm of thoughts in my head. My heart was hammering in my chest, my hands starting to shake. Who the hell was this? And why were they sending me this? How did they even know about her affair? How the hell did they know what was going on? The text wasn't signed. There was no name, no context, just an ominous message I didn't know what to do with. I didn't even know how to feel. Angry? Betrayed? Confused? For a second, I wondered if it was some kind of joke, but as I thought about it more, I realized there was no way this could be a prank. Not with the way my mind was already spinning with the signs I'd been ignoring for months. I dropped the phone on the table, still not sure if I was shaking from anger or fear. How could I have missed this? How could I have let it go on this long without seeing the red flags? My head was filling up with memories of Sophie's recent behavior. Things I hadn't given a second thought to at the time, things I'd convinced myself were just part of life. It was a Wednesday afternoon when I finally got the courage to confront her. We'd been together for 2 years. We lived together, we'd made plans for the future, and yet here I was feeling like a complete idiot for not picking up on what now seemed so obvious. Sophie had always been busy lately, more so than usual. She'd been working late, which, in retrospect, was starting to feel like an excuse. She'd grown distant, barely engaged in our conversations. Our sex life had taken a nosedive, too. Something I didn't want to admit at the time, but now seemed like a glaring signal. I told myself it was stress, that it was nothing. That's the thing, right? You ignore what you don't want to see. I went to her office that afternoon, standing outside the door like I was about to walk into an interrogation room. I thought about just texting her, but I couldn't. I needed to hear the words from her. I needed to see her face as she tried to explain herself, as she either confirmed or denied everything. She was sitting at her desk when I walked in, papers scattered around, her glasses perched on the tip of her nose. She looked up at me, startled, and immediately tried to put on that same calm, collected expression she always wore when she was about to dodge something. But I was done dodging. I didn't even say hello. I just came right out with it. Sophie, who's Matthew Jenkins? Her face changed instantly. It wasn't a huge shift, but it was enough for me to notice. Her eyes widened for a fraction of a second, a blink too long. She closed the folder in front of her, the soft click of it echoing in the sudden silence. I don't know who you mean, she said, her voice unconvincing. I dropped the phone onto the desk between us, the text message glaring at her. You don't know who he is? Really? Because he seems to know an awful lot about you. Her eyes flickered down to the screen, and I watched her swallow hard, the tension building between us like a ticking clock. It's not what you think, she said, her words coming out too quickly, too defensively. Matthew is just an old friend, someone I knew before you. He reached out to me a few weeks ago, and... No, that's not it, Sophie. I cut her off, my voice growing louder, sharper. That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is why you've been hiding it from me. Why you've been so distant lately. Why you've been acting like everything between us is fine when you've clearly been hiding something. Who is he? She looked down at the table, her shoulders slumping like she was trying to physically shrink into herself. The silence between us stretched long and thick. My head was spinning, but I could barely even hear the thoughts in my mind over the pounding of my heart. I'd been so stupid, hadn't I? How could I not have seen this? She was so good at keeping things hidden, so good at making everything seem normal. But now the truth was coming out in fragments, and I didn't know if I could handle it. I never wanted to hurt you, she said softly, her voice trembling now. Matthew, he's been in my life for a long time, before we met. And yeah, we started talking again. But I swear, nothing happened between us. It's just, he's been there for me in ways you don't understand, okay? I couldn't look at her. I turned my back, my chest heaving. What the hell does that even mean, Sophie? You think I'm too stupid to understand? You think I can't see the signs? She took a deep breath, standing up and moving toward me. I never meant to hurt you, I swear. I was lonely, okay? I don't know why it happened, but Matthew was there for me when I felt like you weren't. We've had some problems lately. Things weren't going well between us, and I... Don't, I said, turning back to her with a harsh shake of my head. Don't make excuses for this. Don't blame me. You knew what you were doing. You knew it was wrong, and you did it anyway. Tears were welling up in her eyes now, but I didn't know if I could care. I wasn't sure if I was even capable of caring in that moment. I was just too hurt, too angry, too damn confused. She was standing there in front of me, telling me how she didn't mean to hurt me, but the damage had already been done. I never wanted to lose you, she whispered, her voice cracking. The problem was, I wasn't sure I could ever trust her again. I wasn't sure if I wanted to. Part 2. I stood there, frozen, my mind a tangled mess of emotions. There were so many things I wanted to say, so many things I needed to scream at her, but the words wouldn't come out. All I could hear was the sound of her voice breaking, the quiet tremor in her voice as she pleaded with me. In the back of my head, I kept thinking, this can't be happening. This can't be real. I ran my hand through my hair, pacing in small circles around the room. It felt like the ground was shifting beneath me. How had we gotten here? How had everything felt so right for so long? And now it felt like I didn't even recognize her anymore. I couldn't stop replaying the past few months in my head, trying to make sense of it all. Her distant behavior, her late nights at work, her sudden need for space. I blamed myself, told myself I was imagining things. Now, I was looking at her, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd been a fool to let it go on this long. How did I not see this? Her voice broke through my thoughts again. I didn't want it to get this far, okay? I never wanted to hurt you, but I was feeling so alone. You were so busy with work, and I needed someone. Matthew was someone I could talk to when things were hard. I wasn't trying to replace you. I swear. Replace me, I repeated, my voice thick with disbelief. So, you didn't want to lose me, but you went and did this anyway? You thought it was okay to just talk to him, because that's what you're calling it, right? Talking. While you're in a relationship with me? Do you hear yourself, Sophie? I could see her flinch. It wasn't the first time I'd raised my voice like this, but it was the first time I'd ever seen her genuinely scared of me. Her hand was shaking, and she wiped at her eyes with the back of her sleeve. I never meant for it to go this far, she whispered again, the words barely audible now. I swear, I didn't think it would affect us like this. But it did, Sophie, I said, my voice steadying but still laced with that edge of anger. It has. This isn't just a misunderstanding or a mistake. You didn't just talk to him, did you? How long has this been going on? How long have you been seeing him behind my back? She hesitated, her gaze flicking down to the floor as if she couldn't bear to meet my eyes. The silence between us was suffocating, thick with the weight of what she was about to say. She stopped, swallowing hard. It wasn't like that. It was just, we talked. I didn't mean for it to go there, okay? But yes, we kissed a few times. And I think I got confused. I didn't want to leave you, but I couldn't stop myself. It was like I was so desperate for connection, for someone to notice me, to make me feel seen again. I thought it was harmless. I didn't think it would hurt you. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. The air rushed out of my lungs, and for a moment, I couldn't even breathe. Kissed? You kissed him, Sophie. The words didn't even seem real. I was numb, but there was this gnawing, sick feeling in my stomach that wouldn't go away. It felt like everything I'd known about her, the woman I'd trusted with my heart, was just unraveling before my eyes. I'm so sorry, she whispered again, the tears rolling down her cheeks now, her face a mixture of guilt and fear. I never meant to hurt you. I don't even know how it happened. I don't know anymore. I don't know what I was doing. Jesus, Sophie, I muttered, pacing again, this time more erratic. You don't know what you were doing? You kissed another guy. You lied to me, and you didn't think it would hurt me? What kind of excuse is that? You don't get to not know anymore. You don't get to walk away from this without facing what you did. You can't just be sorry and think it's going to fix everything. I could feel my anger building again, that hot, red fury that I'd kept bottled up for months, no, for years. Because this wasn't just about Matthew Jenkins. It wasn't even just about the affair, although that was bad enough. It was about how she had treated me like I was a fool, how she'd hid behind her lies and her justifications, and how she never once considered how much I might have been hurt by it, how she thought it was okay to betray me. And yet, I was the one left picking up the pieces. I've been so stupid, I said under my breath, more to myself than to her. I should have seen the signs. I should have realized you weren't the person I thought you were. I'm the person you thought I was, she said quickly, reaching out to grab my arm. I made a mistake. I made a huge mistake, but that doesn't mean I'm a completely different person. It doesn't mean I don't love you. I jerked my arm away from her, a sharp crack of electricity shooting through my chest. No, Sophie, this isn't just a mistake. This is a betrayal. You lied to me for months, and you expect me to just forgive you because you say you love me? That's not how this works. I don't even know who you are anymore. Her face crumpled at the words, and I could see the desperation in her eyes, the same desperation I had seen in her when we first met, when everything felt new and exciting, and we had that whole future ahead of us. Now it was all crashing down. I couldn't trust her. I couldn't trust anything about our relationship. I can't do this, I said, my voice shaky now, less angry and more just broken. I need to think. I need space. I can't just go back to how things were. Not after this. Not after what you've done. She nodded, silent tears falling from her eyes, but she didn't argue. For the first time in a long time, she wasn't trying to make excuses. She just stood there looking lost, and I was too exhausted to fight anymore. I felt like I was drowning, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't pull myself out. The worst part, the thing that haunted me the most, I wasn't sure if I even wanted to try anymore. I turned and left her standing there, the weight of the decision heavy on my shoulders, my chest tight with the pressure of everything unsaid between us. I couldn't even look back. I just walked out of that office, out of that room, and out of whatever we had left. I didn't know what was going to happen next. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. But I knew one thing for sure. I couldn't stay in a relationship built on lies. Not anymore. And maybe, deep down, I knew that meant I had to let go of her.